Hello there, and welcome back to the A Finch's Nest podcast. This is episode number 2. Thank you to those of you who watched episode number 1, and for those who left comments on YouTube or Instagram, and for those who sent messages. I do really appreciate it, and it's nice to see the community starting to grow, and it's nice to get to know some new people that way, so thank you. Just a reminder that you can find me on Instagram at A Finch's Nest. And you can also go over to Ravelry and join the A Finch's Nest podcast group over there as well. It's pretty quiet there right now, but I would anticipate in the future we'll probably do some knit-alongs and giveaways over there. So it'd be great to have you join over there. So we have a few things to talk about today. I was going to talk about a few life things and then getting into some finished objects. And I think I only have one work in progress right now, which is surprising, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So I thought I would talk to you a little bit about my kids today, just so you know who I'm talking about if I mention their names instead of saying my daughter or my son. So I just thought it'd be fun for you to know their names and a bit about them. So my oldest is Katie. She is a preschool teacher, and she is married to Sam. And they've been married for 3.5 years. And like I mentioned last time, they live fairly close by, so that's really nice. Next is Nicholas. He is currently in California doing an internship for his college course. He's going through to be a computer science major, and he really enjoys that, and he's done very well at it, so yeah, I'm very proud of him. So he's currently in California, and once he's finished the internship, he'll be home to finish his schooling, and he'll be done sometime next winter, I believe. And then Mackenzie, he is a apprentice for a master machinist. So he really enjoys that. He has done very well, and he got into a really good company, and so we're really happy about that. So yeah, so those are the 3 oldest. It's fun watching them as they get older and they find what they really love, and yeah, they get their careers, and it's nice to see how they kind of settle into, I guess their adulthood. So that's fun. And then the youngest 2, like I mentioned before, are adopted. So next is Allie. Allie's 16. She's in grade 10. And she has autism. She would be classified as high-functioning autism. So she does very, very well. And overall, she's a very, very happy child. So, I'm very blessed that despite the diagnosis, she does very well. And then my youngest is Brianna, and Brianna is 12. She's in grade 7, and she loves to sing. She sings all the time, and she has since she could talk. So now she's learning to play instruments, and she's just very, very talented when it comes to music. And she's very, very gifted that way. So it's so nice because I have music all the time in my home because she's always singing something. So yeah, it's really fun. So yeah, that's exciting. So there's a little bit about them. So you probably won't see them or even maybe see photos of them, but I just thought it'd be fun for you to know sort of a little more about my life here. I was also going to talk to you today about the weather because I know the last time I talked to you, I told you what a great winter we were having and that we had no snow, and that all abruptly ended. And now we have tons of snow, and it is freezing cold outside. So we got a big snowstorm on, I think it was Monday night. Yes, Monday night. And I don't even know how much snow we got. I would say over a foot for sure. So on Tuesday morning, I learned how to use a snowblower for the first time. So I have a snowblower in my garage that Nicholas had found last winter. One of our neighbors was throwing it out. So he asked the neighbor if he could have it and try to fix it, and he was able to get it fixed and running. But of course, he's in California now, and we had all the snow, and there was just no way I was going to be able to shovel all the snow at the end of the driveway where the snowplow had dumped everything. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to figure this out. And Mackenzie was at work, and so it was just me, and I had to figure it out. So I went over to a neighbor's and just asked him if he could quickly show me how to use it. And I'm so grateful he did. And so we were able to get it going, and I was able to snow blow the driveway instead of trying to shovel all that. It was just too much to shovel. And I also have a sidewalk in front of my house, so I have to make sure that that's clear as well. So yeah, so I'm very grateful for the snowblower. So this morning I had to drive Allie to her bus stop because it's quite far from our house. And when we left the house, it was minus 22 degrees as the temperature. That was not even with the wind chill. So it's been pretty frigid. I think I heard yesterday it was minus 37 with the wind chill. So this is supposed to be ending today. Today's supposed to be the last really cold day, and then it's supposed to warm up for the weekend, and hopefully some of the snow will melt. And yeah, but it's been a few days of the deep freeze here. So I think we're all going to be really happy when that ends. So the other night during this cold freeze, I had a meeting at Brianna's school. So she goes to a fairly small private school. And at this school, the grade 8s get a really nice graduation. They have this whole dinner party, and then a ceremony, and then after the ceremony they do like snacks and goodies and stuff. So it's up to the grade 7 parents to do all the planning and all the work for the graduation. So because Brianna's in grade 7 this year, I get to help with the graduation for the grade 8 class. So we had a planning meeting the other night, and it was so cold, and I didn't want to go. I didn't want to leave the house, but I thought, okay, I have to go. Like, I have to participate. This is part of what I have to do. So I thought, okay, fine. I'm going to wear all the wool. So I had on wool socks, a wool sweater, a wool scarf, a wool hat, and wool mittens, and off I went to the meeting. And actually, I didn't feel horrible. Like, it wasn't horrible because I was dressed for it. But then when I was driving home, I thought, really the only part of me that was cold was my legs. And I thought, oh, how can I have some wool on my legs? And then I recently discovered the Ruby Moss Cottage podcast, and she's been making those, what are they called? The Marled Mania leggings by Stephen West. And I was like, oh, that's what I need. I need a pair of those, but I would never wear a pair of those. But that's what I needed in that moment. Something like that to keep me warm. So I had to send Ruby Moss Cottage. I had to send her a message just telling her that, I was thinking about her on the way home. I'm thinking I really need a pair of those leggings right about now, but I really don't have the figure to wear a pair of those leggings. But I thought it was funny. But the wool did keep me as warm as possible in those frigid temperatures. So I was very grateful that night. So other than that, I haven't done a ton of knitting the last couple of weeks. I've been, just so much housework and doing things around the house. It just really cuts into my crafting time. So, but hopefully going forward, I'll be a little more on top of things. I have been trying to kind of purge the house and organize and stuff. So that does take time. So hopefully the next few weeks I'll get more knitting done. So anyways, let's get into the knitting. So first of all, I finished object. I finished my antler sweater. I'm so happy. I didn't procrastinate on my button band, so I'm very proud of myself for not doing that. But I have to tell you, having a podcast really helped with that, because normally I would procrastinate, like I said before. But once I got to the button band part, I was like, oh, I don't really want to do them. But I was like, oh, I better do them because people on the podcast are going to wonder why I'm not doing them. So I got them done. So I'm really happy about that. And I actually love the way this sweater turned out. It fits me perfectly, which I'm really surprised about, but I'm happy. Sleeves are a little long, but I like that. I think, sometimes you want to kind of snuggle up in it. So I'm happy with that. So Sorry, my nose is itchy. I talked last time about the modification I made where I added one of the cable repeats, which I'm really, really glad I did, because even now, I know you're not going to be able to see the back of me. It's sitting here. It's sitting still below the shirt I'm wearing underneath. But you know, if I hadn't put that extra repeat in, it would have been too low in the back. I think I could have even put one more repeat in and it would have been fine. The only thing I was worried about is if I put another repeat that it might be too long in the front now. But it's not now, but I wonder if I put another repeat in, if it would be too long. So anyways, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm happy that I did the modifications that I did, because the neck is so much better than it would have been without a whole repeat. So yeah, it fits good. The only thing I'm not happy about is I made it too long. I, for some reason, thought I needed it longer, and yeah, that was my fault. That wasn't the pattern's fault. I modified it and I made it too long. Now, my daughter Katie says it looks great and it's fine, but to me, I feel like it's too long. But yeah, other than that, I'm really happy with it. It fits good. It feels good. I washed it after I was finished and blocked it, and it really softened up because it was really rustic before. But no, it's really softened up now, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's the perfect sweater. I could just wear it all the time, and it's just so warm. So last time I told you that I'd used the Patton's Classic Wool for this sweater, and this is the dark gray mix colorway. So yeah, I would totally use this again for a sweater. It's rustic and you have to wear something underneath it, but when it's on sale at Michael's, you can't beat it. It's a, affordable sweater, which, not all yarns are nowadays. So yeah, no, I'm really happy with it. It looks rustic. It's got that nice feel about it, and yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. So as far as the pattern, it's the Antler cardigan by Tin Can Knits, and I knit it to the pattern except for the modification that I spoke about last time, which was just adding one more cable repeat. Yeah, I used the needles that they called for in the pattern, and yeah, so I would totally knit another Tin Can Knits pattern. I don't know that I've knit any of their sweaters in an adult size before. No, I haven't. I've knit a couple of those smaller children's ones. So, but I would totally knit another one. I like how it fits and it's cozy, and yeah, I can see that I'll get a lot of use out of this, and I would make another one even, but I'm trying to make something different instead for now, but I would totally make it again. It was a good pattern, and I would totally make it for children too. It's really cute, and I love how their patterns are just sized so well for so many different ages. And so yeah, so I would highly recommend that pattern, but I'm glad I did the modification that I did. So my next finished object is kind of a two-part thing. So this hat is the Kobook hat by Caitlin Hunter, and I made this for Katie for Christmas. So as you can see, there's my label again. So I was telling you about these labels last time that I get from Grain Deep in Toronto, and then I went onto their website the other day because I needed to order some more tags, and they're actually closed right now because they just had a baby, which is exciting. So, I kind of feel bad now that I sent you over there and they're closed, but apparently they're opening again on February the 11th. So that's good news and exciting for them that they have a new little one. But anyways, yeah, so this is the Kobook hat. And so I knit this for Katie for Christmas. She had specifically asked if I could knit her a hat for Christmas because she needed a new hat, but she wanted something neutral because currently her winter coat is purple, but she's had it for a long time and she's getting ready for needing a new coat. So she just wanted something neutral that would go with anything. So I don't know if you can see how well you can see the color in there, but it is just like a beige, but it does have flecks of like red and blue, but very subtle. It's very pretty. So the yarn that I used was, so you hold 2 strands together for this hat. So the one strand was the Regia Tweed, and this is color number 0090, and it's the Regia Tweed, which is like a DK weight sock yarn. And then I held it double with the Sugar Bush Drizzle, and I don't see a color name on here. Yeah, I don't see a color name on here. It's kind of a taupey beige color, and it's the Sugar Bush Drizzle, which is 70% kid mohair, 24% silk. So yeah, I held 1 strand of each together to make the hat, and it turned out really, really nice. I would like to make one for myself, not in the same yarn, but it's a really nice hat, and I know everybody's making it on in the knitting world right now, but yeah, I was really happy with how it turned out. So anyways, the other night Katie was over, and she happened to mention that she really needs a new pair of mittens. So I thought, oh, I wonder if there's enough of that wool left to make a pair to match her hat. So sure enough, there was enough. And Katie's not picky. She didn't care what kind of mittens. She just said she needed some new mittens because the last pair I made her, she actually put a hole in the thumb. So anyways, so I made these mittens. And I love them. I think they're so cute. So I had enough of the yarn to make the mittens, and they're so cute. So I haven't given them to her yet. I just knit them in the last week for her, but I'll see her tomorrow, so I can give them to her then. But oh goodness, they're so cute. So yeah, so with this ball of yarn, this is a 150 gram ball. So it was enough to do the hat and both mittens, and I still have this much left. Now with the drizzle, this is my second skein. So, but I already had it in the house, so that was great. So, and I've hardly used any from this one, but still one wouldn't have been enough. So anyways, the pattern I used for the mittens is kind of a combination of 2 patterns. So I had noticed on the Barrett Wool Company's website, they have a pattern for the Hen of the Woods mittens. So this is the pattern, which is free on the Barrett Wool Company website. The only thing is, this is just, the instructions in here are basically a modification to Susan B. Anderson's pattern called Waiting for Winter Mittens. So you really need to have both patterns. So this pattern just tells you how to modify this pattern to get the baubles on. But it's basically this mitten. So you do need both patterns. So they were a bit fiddly because of all the baubles, but an easy pattern really, and well written. But I love how they turned out. I think they're really cute. So, and I know she'll love them, so that's great. And it's nice that she has a matching set. So the baubles on the mittens are closer together than the hat. But I think it's fine, and I think it's a nice set for her. And it's neutral, just like she wanted, so yeah, so I'm happy about that. The only thing with this was when I was knitting the mittens, it called for a 4.5 millimeter, and I always use double points for stuff like that, and these are the only needles that I have in that size, which are the Brittany's. I do not like these needles at all, and it's all I had, so that's what I needed to use, but I don't like them. They're not pointy enough, for one thing, so, which is probably hard to see the point. So doing all those baubles was a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, I just don't like them. They feel soft and yeah, not my favorites. So I would not recommend those. But I know some people love them. I don't love them. So, and it did not make the project enjoyable, especially with the baubles. It would have been fine if I wasn't doing so many baubles, but with all those baubles, it was getting a little tedious at the end. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend those ones. Okay, my next finished object is a project bag. So last Sunday, I decided I needed a new project bag, which I probably didn't need. I probably just wanted. But anyways, I decided to spend my afternoon sewing and make a project bag. So this is what I came up with, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I fell in love with this line of fabric a few years ago when it came out. It's called Little Red by Moda Fabrics, and it's based on Little Red Riding Hood. But I just really like the colors and the combination of colors. And yeah, so I made this project bag on the weekend, the handle on it. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. And yeah, so I also decided to do a little notions pouch and a needle cozy to match. So I use needle cozies all the time, just so I don't lose all my stitches. So yeah, I thought I would make one in the Little Red Riding Hood fabric to match. I think it's really cute. And then I made this notions pouch. I've never made a flat one like this before, and I really like it. I didn't know how I would like it. I didn't know if it would be roomy enough, but it's actually got like a fair amount of space in there, and it's perfect for your scissors and measuring tape and stuff. But I think because it's flat, it just fits so nicely in your bag and doesn't take up a lot of room. So I think I'm really going to like this style of project or notions pouch. So yeah, so that was a fun project and a nice way to spend a Sunday afternoon sewing and forgetting about all the housework I should have been doing instead. But anyways, I think it turned out really cute, and yeah, I really like it. So that was a fun project to make. Next, we're going to talk about works in progress. So right now I don't really have a lot that I'm actively working on. I feel like I'm kind of in between projects and maybe in a bit of a, I don't know, lost my mojo a little bit. So hopefully that comes back soon. Yeah, I need to get some things knit. Anyway, so right now I have a pair of vanilla socks on the needles. I had mentioned in the last podcast that I really wanted to get a pair on my needles, just because they're easy to work on when you're on the go and stuff. So I did cast on this pair, which are in pretty pinks. I don't know if the lighting's good here. And by the way, I'm in my sewing room today. I decided to try a different location, hope that the light was a bit better here. So hopefully it is. Anyways, back to the socks. The yarn is all caked up here. And this yarn is by Yarn Indulgences. I think she's fairly local to me. And this is in her Z Luxe sock base. And the colorway is Spring in Bronte Village. I do believe that this colorway is exclusive to a yarn store in Oakville, which is called Spun. The store is actually in Bronte Village, and that's why, I guess that's why the name. But I don't know if you can buy this from the dyer or if you can only buy it in the store. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's exclusive to the store. So yeah, not sure if you can get it too easily, but it is Spun store in Oakville, Ontario. So if you're interested in that colorway, it is a really nice colorway, and the base is really nice. It's a 70% superwash merino wool, 20% cashmere, and 10% nylon. It is so soft. It's really nice. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I don't know if you can see too well on the camera, but it's kind of pooling a little bit, which I'm not thrilled about. but I do love the colors, and it's really soft. It feels like a really nice base. So yeah, so I'm at the heel now. I have to put in the heel. So maybe this weekend I'll work on those a bit. Or I might start a new project, who knows. But all my other works in progress, I'm just not, I don't know. I'm just not really interested in. I still love my Bits and Bobs blanket, but I haven't worked on it at all this week, or I don't even think I worked on it last week. Yeah, besides the mittens, I really haven't done a lot of knitting in the last couple weeks, so I need to step up my game a bit. Oh, I guess I did finish my sweater too, so that was a bit. Oh yeah, and when I was doing the bands on this sweater, which I told you before is my least favorite part of knitting a sweater, it had said in the pattern that you needed to do, you had to pick up four stitches for every 5 rows. And I had read some of the reviews on Ravelry, and some people had said that it was too many stitches. So I was like, I'll just wing it. I'm not going to count the rows. I'll just wing it. I'll just do my own thing. And I did, and guess what? It didn't work out. So I had knit the whole button band, this one, and I had ripped it all out. So you'd think I would learn, but no, I thought, oh, I'll just cast on a few more stitches this time. Or pick up a few more stitches this time. So I did, and guess what? It was too short. So the third time, I decided maybe it would be a good idea to count the rows. So I did count the rows, and I can't remember how many rows there were, but I did not do the 4 and 5. So I kind of did somewhere between my last failed attempt and what the 4 and 5 would be, and now it fits perfectly. So yeah, note to self, next time just read the pattern and do what it says. But yeah, anyways, so that was a lot of needless knitting. Let's just say that I guess wasted a lot of my knitting time, and maybe that's why I'm not too excited about anything right now after having to do the button band 3 times. Anyways, that's it for works in progress. So next is just trying to decide what I want to knit next. I really feel like I'm in a slump, and that's kind of weird for me. Like normally I'm so excited about the next project and the next project, but right now, I don't know, I'm kind of in a slump. Anyways, here's a couple options. Maybe you can help me make my decisions. And I have the yarn and I'm ready to go. It's just, I don't know why. I know part of it is, and I know we all struggle with this, and I know that the Fat Squirrel says we shouldn't worry about this stuff, but I'm not the size that I want to be, and it's hard to knit like a big item not knowing if it's going to fit, or if you're going to like the fit, or if it's going to be flattering, or it's just kind of hard. And sometimes there's almost too many patterns on Ravelry because there's so many out there. And even last night I was looking through pattern after pattern trying to see, like, do I like the fit? Do I think it's going to be flattering? And it's not like when you go to the store and you can try on something and be like, oh yeah, this does look flattering. You have to kind of put in all the work and then find out at the end. So that's kind of tricky. So one of the sweaters that I wanted to knit, which I should have bookmarked in this book and I didn't, is the Trek sweater. Here it is. This sweater is by Tin Can Knits. Here's the photo. So it's a colorwork sweater, which I love. And I loved it as soon as I got this book, which, by the way, is the Strange Brew book by Tin Can Knits. So I loved it as soon as I saw it, and I knew I wanted to make it. But right now, it's a DK weight, and I'm thinking, it's going to take me forever. So I'm just kind of, do I want to do this right now, or should I do another like worsted weight sweater just to kind of keep my mojo going? Because I don't want to get discouraged with the DK weight sweater. But anyways, you can help me make up my mind. So I bought this yarn last winter at a store that was clearing this stuff out, and it's the Diamond Luxury Fine Merino Superwash DK. And I don't know if there's a color name or number. color 403. It's like a charcoal gray. This yarn's really nice and soft. I've never knit with it before, but it's nice. And compared to this, which is very rustic, this feels like cashmere. But it's not. It's just 100% fine merino. But it is so soft. Anyways, she was clearing it out. It was a really good price, but I didn't know what I wanted to make with it, so I just bought a whole bunch of it. And it's charcoal gray. It'll go with everything. So I had enough to make the body of the sweater. So then I just needed the contrast colors. And I don't really have a lot of DK in my stash. So on the Christmas holidays, my oldest daughter, Katie, she'll often come and stay with Allie and Brianna so I can have a bit of respite. And so she had offered one day to come over and stay with them so that I could get out for a bit. So I decided to go to this yarn store in Guelph, Ontario. And it's called, what is it called? All Strung Out, which is a great name. But it's just like this, it's a fairly small store, and it's like in the downtown area. It's a really cute store. Anyways, I haven't been there for years because I just never get over there. It's about 45 minutes from my house. And anyways, I decided, you know what, I have a day to myself and I'm going to do something for myself instead of going to get groceries and do stuff like that. So I went to the store and I had taken a ball of this with me and I was explaining to the lady what I wanted to knit. And she was really helpful, and we laid out a whole bunch of different colors on the table in the store. And in the end, these are the colors that I got for the contrast. So here we go. I have a basket here with them all in. Okay, so these are the definite colors. So this is a lighter gray, and these are all Ultra Wool DK by Barocco, which is 100% superwash wool. I thought this stuff was quite affordable, and it feels really nice, and it comes in lots of colors and really nice colors. So my local yarn store doesn't carry this, but I would definitely drive back to Guelph to get this in the future because it seems really nice. So anyway, so with the dark gray and the light gray, I hope you can see the colors well. And then this light pink and this sort of purpley pink and sorry, I don't have enough hands here. Ivory. Okay, forget the dark gray. So we have these colors, so I need one more color. So when I was at the store, oh, I'm so itchy. My skin's so dry. Sorry, I keep scratching my face, but it's driving me crazy. Yeah, I mentioned in the last podcast that I had my thyroid taken out in September. And ever since then, well, it's a bit of a journey to get the medication right for your thyroid once they remove it, because you have to be on thyroid replacement medicine. So it just takes a while for the dosage to be tweaked and just perfect. And right now it's not perfect. And so because of that, my skin is super dry and my nails, I have no nails left. They're just breaking and cracking and peeling. It's awful. So anyways, the doctor just changed my medicine the other day. So I'm hoping things are going to get a bit better. But for now, it's bad. So anyways, while I was at the store, this is the color that I bought. So it's kind of a greeny turquoise to go with these. So I do like it, but I didn't know if it was just perfect. And it's a different texture, this wool. So I didn't know if it would look funny. And actually I think it is a DK weight, but it's a little heavier. So I didn't know how it was going to work with my other colors. So I had this one at home, which is a vintage DK. So I'm just trying to decide which color I like better. So this is the vintage. And I don't know if maybe it's a little too, I don't know, dead, I guess. Or does it fit with those or this one? And I know they're very close. And maybe you can't see on the camera, but in person you can see the difference. So yeah, I just don't know. Maybe. Well, there you can see the difference in the color. Yeah, so it's really hard to know which one. Anyways, so this is my dilemma right now of what I want to use for this sweater. And do I want to cast it on now or do I want to wait? I don't know. I don't want to do all the work and then it doesn't fit or something. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one to use. And I don't know if I really want to do this right now. When I bought the yarn back in December, I was so excited about this. I just wanted to come home and cast it on, but I wouldn't let myself because I was working on this. And right now I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if it's the next project. And maybe if I just started it, I would just love it and be all gung-ho. But right now I'm kind of, I don't know. So anyway, so that's my dilemma. The other thing I have in my stash that I could use to make a sweater is this yarn from Cascade Yarns. It's the Cascade 220 Heathers. And it's kind of a plum colorway, which I think is really pretty. So I had originally thought I could use this for the portage cardigan that I had spoke about in my Meg 9. This one here by Melissa Shashwari. It's a really pretty cardigan. And so I pulled this out the other day thinking, oh, maybe I'll cast this on while I kind of make up my mind on the trek. And realized that the pattern calls for DK and this is a worsted. So I was disappointed. And I know I could do all the math and try to figure out the modifications and stuff, but I didn't really feel like it. So last night I went on to Ravelry and searched up some worsted weight cardigans and worsted weight sweaters and trying to figure out what I want to make next. And I don't know, I'm just kind of stumped. So if you have any ideas of worsted weight cardigans or sweaters that you've knit that you love and that fit well and that you didn't have to do a lot of modificating that's a new word, modifications too, I would love to hear from you because I'm kind of stumped and I love this color. This is totally my jam. And so I'd love to use it. I just don't know what I want to make. And this yarn too is fairly affordable. So it's a sweater that I would wear all the time. I know I would if I just got it done, but I just don't know what to make. So yeah, if you have any ideas, I would love to hear from you on that. And hopefully I can get something cast on soon because I'm feeling a little bit lost. I'm not really into my sock. I knit a lot of socks for Christmas this year and I just kind of feel like maybe I'm kind of needing something else. And I think that's why I'm enjoying the sweaters. And I enjoyed this, and I think part of it was because it was a worsted weight. It knit up fairly quickly, where the Trek is a DK, and I just think I'm just worried it's going to take me forever to get it done. So anyways, that's kind of my knitting dilemma right now. So next thing to talk about, I did do some natural dyeing this week. And I actually have some in the pot right now upstairs. I think it's going to be beautiful. It's I have some cochineal upstairs and some chamomile getting ready to be dyed. So yeah, I think it's going to be gorgeous. But anyways, earlier in the week I had dyed with some pomegranate skins. Pomegranate skins always surprise me. You always expect it's going to be pink or red or something, but no, it's this kind of greeny yellow color, which is not showing up on the camera at all. No, it's looking very different in person. Sorry. Anyway, so I dyed that with pomegranate skins earlier in the week. And then I also did a avocado dye bath, and I had used the skins of the avocado. Now this skein hasn't been reskeined yet, so it looks a little bit messy, but this is the first dye bath, and then this was the second dye bath. And I love it. I love pinks, but again, the color, the lighting's not good down here. I should have podcast upstairs. This morning I was like, where should I podcast? I should try a different location. I was going all over my house trying to find the perfect little spot and where the lighting's perfect, where there's somewhere for me to sit, where there's the table, where there's... So then, I ended up trying down here because I thought it would be easier, and I moved in a table, and I was fiddling with the height of the camera. Yes, it's a lot of work. Anyways, maybe next time we'll have to be upstairs because the lighting's not good down here. But anyways, so this is the second dye bath, and yeah, so they're pretty colors. So I'm happy with how those turned out. And I thought maybe this lighter pink might be cute for the beloved hat. But we'll see. So those are all on a sock base. And yeah, they're on a merino nylon base because I really like the way it dyes up. So yeah, so I'm happy with those. So the other thing I did this week, which took away from some of my knitting time, was I decided to organize my stash, which, yeah, was a bit of a project. But I'm really happy I went through it, and I got some stuff that I was able to give away, and so I'm excited about that. When I first started knitting, I need a drink. Which, by the way, is in my favorite mug ever. My son Mackenzie gave me this for Christmas. I don't know if you can read it, but it says Mama Bird on it. And I told you before that I always refer to my house as my nest and my kids as my birds. And my maiden name is Finch. And so when he saw this mug, he was like, I have to get this for my mother. It's too perfect. So anyways, he bought me this for Christmas. And I'm just drinking David's tea in the, I believe it's frozen raspberry flavor. I love David's tea. And sadly, they just opened one very close to my house recently, so that's probably not a good thing. Because before I would have to drive like 40 minutes to get to David's tea. Now I have to drive about 7 minutes. So anyways, I try not to go there, but they do have some really good teas. So yeah. So I was talking about my stash. So when I first started knitting, I knit with a lot of acrylic yarns just because I didn't know any better. And my mom knits with a lot of acrylic yarns, and so that was just kind of normal, and it's inexpensive, and it was just kind of my normal. And then when I got really involved in knitting and in the knitting community, I realized that there's much better options out there. And so I still had quite a bit of acrylic in my stash. Now, some of it I've kept because I think it's good for gifts, especially for baby gifts. I think it has its place, but definitely not what I want to use for myself or even for my kids. So so I found some that I was able to put together to donate to somebody that I know who will appreciate it. So she will be very happy to receive that, I'm sure. And otherwise, I got it all organized. And I have a closet in my basement that it's just a really narrow closet. And my dad built some shelves in it for me. And so I was able to do like a shelf for each weight of yarn. So that's helpful. So I have all my DK on one shelf and all my worsted on another. And then I was able to have a shelf that's just sweater quantities. So I think I really only have, with those two that I talked about already, I think I maybe have 3 sweater quantities in there. But I also have some that I have maybe like lives gained or something that would be enough for the bulk of a sweater if you did some color work or something. So anyways, instead of putting it into the stash with everything else, I put them all together on one shelf so that I feel like, okay, next time I want to make a sweater, I can just go in there and see, oh, I could use this, but I need to add 2 colors or whatever. So it just seems really a lot more organized, and so I'm happy about that. And I was happy just to get out the stuff that I'm not going to be using, and give it to someone who needs it. So that was a good job to get done, and I'm happy about that. This weekend's going to be busy for me. One thing I didn't tell you about myself yet is that in the summers I work at a camp up north, and this camp is a family camp. So families come together, and while they're there, we offer different types of programming, and in particular, we offer children's programming. So all the children that are there with their families have the option to attend programs, which gives the parents a break, but also is really fun for the kids. So my job in all of that is I am the supervisor over all of the children's program. So there's programming for all ages, but I oversee from 0 to age 10, and then I oversee all of the guests who come who may have special needs. And so, it's it can be quite a demanding job in the summer, but it's a really rewarding and fun job. But as part of that, I have to hire all my staff for the summer. So I have to hire 26 staff, and those staff range in age from 15 to like 22-ish. So this weekend is our first weekend of interviews, so I do have to travel a little bit for that, and so I'll be doing that this weekend and interviewing some of our candidates for next year and some of our returning students from last year. So that's fun and busy, and so that's what my weekend will be mostly this weekend. But I'm really hoping to cast on something that excites me, because I just really am in a bit of a slump with my knitting. So if you have any ideas of a great project or a great sweater that I could use that worsted weight yarn for, that would be awesome, because I really do want to cast on something and then have something fun to knit on when I come back from all those interviews. So other than that, I don't know that I have much to talk about today. Because I'm in a bit of a slump, I didn't really get a lot done, and that's unfortunate. But I say that, but I did finish my sweater, and I did knit a whole pair of mittens, so I guess I did quite a bit still. Oh, and I did cast on that sock, so it wasn't all bad. I did far too much housework, though. That was the problem. So I need to really cut out the housework in my life. That's what I need to do. But anyways, if you have any great patterns that you love or you would highly recommend, I would love to hear from you, because I need some motivation right now. So other than that, just to remind you to go ahead on over to Ravelry and join our group there, and follow me on Instagram. That would be great. And if you want to subscribe to this channel so you can get notifications when we have a new podcast, you can do that down below. So anyways, I think that's it for today. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful week full of lots of knitting, and hopefully you're not experiencing the dreadfully cold temperatures like I am, and we can all look forward to spring together. So anyways, thanks again for joining me. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.